guys, it's me, Tiffany. This is a little different than what I normally do on the channel. I'm here with the 100% trophy/achievement guide. This does not have a platinum, but there is one achievement that's in the Xbox version, obviously. That's not in the PlayStation as a trophy because of the way they do gamer score. I do include that in this guide, but I am playing on PlayStation. This is a little different because I'm not going to talk as much as I do my other Let's Plays and stuff because I want this to be a guide. I'll make sure to shut up when the actual story is talking, and I'm going to talk minimally, but whether I talk or the game talks, I do have font that is huge that's going to pop up before you miss a chance for getting a trophy or achievement, because you can't go back without chapter select, and that's at the very end of the game. So I'm going to be quiet now, but I will talk occasionally for something if the game itself isn't talking. And the story is amazing, by the way. So if you're not here for that, the story is great.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Okay, so when we walk up here, there's going to be two paths. Go to the left first for the first trophy.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Here is where the first path is.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Okay, so I didn't mean to press that. But when we go back to the house, don't walk in yet. We need to go to the fence that's beside it in the back. There are 10 peepholes / a telescope that kind of mixed in there. And we have to look through all of them. And most of them are in one place, but that's the first one, and you must let the game finish talking before you back up. And the font needs to go away from the talking for it to count. So just stay there for a couple of extra seconds whenever you see the peephole or when the telescope pops up.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Make sure you wait until all the dialogue floats away.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Yeah, this is where most of them are.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
And here's the last one for this little area.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
I think Barbara has the coolest little spot, like when you're able to go in her room, out of all the rooms. But this story's definitely interesting.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Trigger warning, this story gets a little weird.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
There is a trophy coming up. You just have to look for where it says rabbit on the screen. And just make sure you line up perfectly behind the rabbit and it's an easy grab. Don't swoop down early. You have to grab both rabbits in 2 swoops. If you fail,
his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
if you fail, turn off the game and turn it back on because of the save point.
A mama rabbit.
But it's really easy, just line up behind it and go down.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
The segment after the shark becomes the
I
trophy
rolled off a
part
cliff
2.
and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Okay, so the next trophy part will show up when you hear a sailor singing after you eat this guy and you go up the
I
stairs.
was big, but I moved real quiet.
Okay, so when you go up there and you get to the sailor that's singing, let him finish the entire song and then eat him. That is the trophy. This is not where you're really supposed to go, but I wanted to talk a little bit more. When you go up the stairs, you just go to the right and enter the room, but I kind of want to explain it. He does sing a song. You let him finish it, and then you eat him. That's a trophy if you mess up on either of the trophies that are in this story segment. Just turn off the game and turn it back on. The save point will be right before you enter the journal. So yeah, keep an eye on that, and not every story has a trophy related to it. And that should be, yeah, that's the only 2 stories in this segment. Ooh, I said go right and I went left. There we go.
Belly with a rusty razor, his belly with a rusty razor, his belly with a rusty razor, what shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Put him in the captain's daughter, put him in bed with the captain's daughter, put him in bed with what shall we do with a drunken sailor? 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 Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with a hose pipe on him. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? He-ho, she rises, he-ho, she rises, he-ho, she rises in the morning.
new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.